Today, I will live 100 days on a desert island in the middle of the ocean enclosed by a big red circle. This is a barrier beyond which I will not be able to leave the island before the 30th day. If I die, the world will be removed. I'll build the world's biggest bamboo house, giant sakura tree and a bamboo garden. I'll find the camel and the sniffer and bring them back to the island. I'll survive without food, peaceful mobs, and only one palm tree, and one bamboo since in Minecraft 1.022, 2 bamboo boards are crafted from 9 bamboo instead of 4. Survival without wood is impossible. But believe me, it won't give me much advantage. And the seedlings of the tree will not fall out of the foliage until the 50th day. On the first day, I got my only tree and started digging a dugout to hide from mobs at night. Now I can't fight them off, and death threatens me with the removal of the world. The boards are limited, so until the bamboo grows, I will have to spend them wisely. Otherwise, I won't be able to survive in the first few days. I'm also starting to make a small farm in order to plant the wheat I harvested there. This is also an additional way, but not the main one, because you can't live on bread alone, at least until I have a large enough farm. So I decide to go and get some fish, because the boundaries of my island also include a small piece of the ocean, which means I can swim there and extract resources. I'll get some algae. They will be my fuel. It is very profitable. While I was gathering seaweed, I was attacked by a drowned man, but I decided not to fight him because I don't have a sword, and I just gathered the seaweed and swam to my island until he called his friends, and I did not become one of the drowned. Aggressive monsters have already appeared on my island, so I'm going to get into mine a dugout, prepared during the day, and hide there from them till morning. I decided to get some stone to make a stove and fry the caught fish, as well as at least slightly illuminate my dim cave. It will be a little cozier with the stove. I forgot that the seaweed first needs to be melted down in order to get full-fledged fuel. Schwartz fuel, the system works as with charcoal. In order to melt 8 kelp, you need only 1 charcoal, and we get 8 dried kelp. We need 9 kelp to craft 1 block of kelp, which is equal to 14.5 lumps of coal in terms of fuel. I only need 2 pieces of coal to make myself enough fuel for almost a whole stack of remelting. But since I don't have coal now, and it's very expensive to roast on wood, and I have very little of it, I'm going to dig a cave and look for coal. I have no other choice. Wood is in short supply, and I just can't afford to spend it on remelting. At least until I grow a lot of bamboo. I also dug a small passage to kill the monsters, in the hope that something valuable would fall from them. Now a bunch of zombies immediately rushed at me, and I decided to make a stone sword to kill them faster. I think it will still be useful to me, so I did not spare 1 stick on it, and suddenly a carrot fell out of the zombies for me. How happy I was. I will be able to make a carrot farm, and in the future make golden carrots. As for me, this is one of the coolest options for food, does not require a lot of time and costs, and gives a lot of satiety. I got out of the cave to kill the spider and collect some threads. I will need them to make a bow, a bed, and a fishing rod. All this is necessary for my survival. First of all, a bed and a fishing rod. It will be able to skip the night and fish during the day to get some food and other valuable resources that can be caught in the ocean. I decided to try my luck with skeleton archers, but I caught an arrow and realized that I could die. I returned to the cave, decided to wait for the morning. Then they would burn themselves. A spider came to me, so I killed it and collected more threads. I decided to close my cave because I won't get anything valuable there anymore, and I can die very easily, so it doesn't make sense. Besides, I will be able to finish off the remaining monsters in the morning. In any case, I will leave my cave, so now I decided to go to mine coal. I hope to find at least 2 pieces of coal and a few pieces of iron ore. I would definitely need it. But while I was digging a cave, I found a lot more than I was looking for, and I was very lucky. I found a lot more and was even able to make myself a torch and also put fish to fry, because I only have rotten flesh and a spider eye from food, which are not very suitable for me. After the fish, I will put seaweed to fry. After all, in any case, this is a very profitable source of fuel, and it will definitely come in handy for me, especially since I will have 4 blocks. And each block is 14.5 lumps of coal, which is quite a lot for me now. Finally, the morning has come, and it's time to get out of my cave in order to harvest the harvest I call the monsters that either did not have time to burn completely or do not burn in the sun. From them, I can collect resources that will be useful to me. And also, I finally have bamboo grown, and I can make bamboo boards so that I no longer save wood. I collected bamboo and decided that I needed to get rid of the Enderman who had settled on my island, because the 2 of us would not get along on this island. I expanded my bamboo farm and decided to plant some carrots so that they would grow little by little. In the future, I will make a giant farm of bamboo and carrots, and for now, I need to get back to my business. I decided to make the bamboo farm even bigger and planted all the bamboo that I collected so that it would grow even more. because it grows very fast. I jumped into the water to kill the Enderman. He bothered me with his presence. Besides, you never know when he will attack. He dropped a block of grass that can be useful to me in the future, and in the meantime I expand the carrot farm and collect bamboo that grows every second and immediately plant it, so that the farm is gigantic. So my whole day passed. I just ate the rotten flesh. I collected bamboo and planted it again. While I was picking bamboo, I realized that I did not have the main source of food, and I decided to make a golden carrot with it because it takes time to catch fish. It takes time to find animals and breed them, and carrots can just be planted and harvested, although it also takes time to ripen. So when it becomes a habit and the cycle begins, this won't be a problem for me. Besides, there are many destroyed portals around the world that have gold in them, plus hell in which there is just a whole bunch of it in general. Golden carrots are the most profitable food option for me, at least. At the end of the day, I saw that monsters were starting to appear and killed a spider. Then I ran into the cave before many monsters spawned and they killed me. I made a block of dry kelp and also crafted a fishing rod, so in the afternoon I can go fishing and catch some fish before my carrots grow. While the kelp was roasting, I decided to go to the cave and look for some more resources, because I had already spent a few days on the island, and so I didn't get anything but coal. I mined a whole bunch of coal, and this makes me very happy because I can make some torches and plus this fuel. Now, every resource is worth its weight in gold for me, but then I was even luckier. I found a zombie spawner and decided not to break it in case I still need it. I took everything valuable from the chest and decided to take them too, so that there would be somewhere to put things, because I don't have wood yet, so chests from the dungeon will be a great solution. I went further to explore the cave and found some iron ore. Finally, I will be able to make a bucket of water and enlarge my farm when I get home. I made 3 shirizi, and as soon as I have a tree, I will make a bed. But for now, I will put everything together. I put all my things in a chest and decided to go outside. Because finally the day came, I was met by 3 creepers at once. I fought them off and went to collect bamboo, but I realized that without an axe, it would be too long and difficult. So I crafted an axe from bamboo and decided to go mine all the bamboo that grew overnight. Finally, I won't have any problems with the boards. Then I fertilize and plant carrots as well as plant wheat. It will also not be superfluous. The bigger my farm is, the better. So I decided to expand it a little and plant the remaining wheat and carrot seeds. After getting bamboo, I returned to the cave, converted the bamboo into boards and decided to go fishing until the evening. True, I caught only a couple of fish, not very much. But I have enough to eat. I think it is worth returning to the cave, since soon it will be night and monsters will appear again. So I will again go to dig the cave and look for resources. Today I plan to find obsidian. Later you will find out what for. Before going to the cave, I decided to craft torches. Finally, planks and coal, and are not a problem for me, and I can safely make a whole stack of torches. First, I will dig to the water, since I am not very deep underground. I can dig a tunnel to the ocean and collect a bucket of water. This is safer than climbing out of the cave at night, without armor into the street where there are a bunch of monsters and evil spiders. I need a bucket of water to pour lava and get obsidian. I started digging a cave and found some lapia lazuli, killed a zombie and found an amethyst cave. I mine amethyst because it will be useful to me in the future, to build my house and other decorations, after which I found a lava lake and a whole bunch of diamonds at once. I was lucky because I killed 2 birds with 1 stone. I will be able to find lava and diamonds, which means right now I will be able to mine obsidian. I need it to create a portal in Unknown. Initially, I came up with a huge project and wanted to make a large portal, but later I changed my mind and decided to make a more compact one, so I wasted my time. Upon returning from the cave, I decided that I need to harvest bamboo, because there is already quite a lot of it. Really surprised by the growth rate of bamboo, I decided to cut down my entire bamboo garden and create many bamboo boards. But the whole garden cannot be cut down. It grows too fast. I converted all the bamboo into planks and decided to put some junk in the chest. After that, I decided to craft a bed so that I could finally sleep at night. Then, of course, I decided to go to sleep in order to skip the night and in the morning to start my business. A giant bamboo farm is already ready. So you can start building the world's largest bamboo house on a desert island. For this, I had to first calculate the entire territory of the island and remove all the irregularities, since the territory is really very small. And I'm going to have to change it to my liking. I'm going to level up the whole island, and I'm going to use the extra land to expand my island, so I can fit more buildings and make a house. After I dug all the dirt on my island, I started leveling the bumps by adding dirt to empty spaces or craters from creeper explosions, so that my area would look more beautiful, and I could build a path here that I could walk along from the house to other buildings that I will build here in the future. So now I level the area not only for the house, and in general, I prepare it for all future buildings. I decided to do it all at once, so that later I would not have to level the landscape again, and finally, by the evening, I had already built the foundation of my future house. I used andesite, which is very abundant in my caves. In addition, it fits under my bamboo frame of the house, and also made steps. I made columns out of bamboo that will hold the roof, and then I began to make the basis for the future floor, which will be at the level of 3 blocks. This will give my house more charm and make it even more gigantic, and in general, this is what I'm doing at the moment. Then I proceeded to build the first floor of the house. I made everything from bamboo since I did not have another type of wood. Yes, and this fits the theme of my survival. I did not plan it initially, but my house stylistically resembles the Chinese style of houses, so I plan to do all subsequent buildings in a similar style. In my opinion, it looks very beautiful. Having finished the roof of the first floor, I proceed to build a hinged roof that will cover my entire house. It looks very large scale, and I built it very long and difficult, but it was definitely worth it. I decided to cut down all my bamboo from the garden. It's not that I don't have enough bamboo that I used to get. It's just that in the future I don't want it to run out. Besides, it will grow further, since now it has reached its maximum growth. Made some more bamboo boards, and from them, created all the necessary materials for the house, such as half blocks, steps, doors, buttons, and so on. My house is almost ready. Decide to pause a little and harvest all your wheat and carrots, as well as plant it in place, just so that the food does not run out, and I do not die of hunger. And then I will immediately continue to build my bamboo house, although it is not yet ready, but its scale is already striking. And it is really very beautiful. I hope you have admired the frame of my house, because now you will see the final result. Are you ready? I will say right away that it took almost as much time to equip the house inside as to build it itself, because I myself made all the decorations and decorated everything in my own way. Well, friends, 3, 2, 1, and look! Dam is the most gigantic tropical house in the world. I've fully equipped it inside, and now I will show you what and how in it. Come with me. I will give you an excursion. 2 floors, 2 additional rooms, one of which is a trophy room and the other is a foundry workshop for blacksmithing, a sauna, a double bamboo bed, an amethyst fireplace, as well as a spacious bedroom. All this goes into my giant bamboo house on a desert island, just beautiful. Well, now let's go through everything in order. I'm going to show you my whole house, and so let's start with the first floor, and then I'll show you the second floor. On the street of the house, I have a swing that you can ride on, and this is a fire where you can sit in the evening and roast marshmallows. By the way, now I'm using a block of grass that I knocked out of the Enderman many days ago. I still needed it, and now I'll show you the first floor. Here I have such windows and chests. Here you can store all sorts of junk and not very valuable things. There are also flower pots on the windows, but so far without flowers, I will plant them later, when I can swim out of the boundaries of my island. Hi, I'm from the Bardaville. Everything is lit by beautiful light bulbs on chains and torches. There's also a chest for food and/or OUs. On the second floor I have a wardrobe for my armor and swords, a bed, my new dog, which I tamed recently. There is also a trophy hall, a smelter and a sauna, a vat of water that I want to decorate with grass and red roses, and in barrels I will put a fish and some roses, and here's my amethyst fireplace. The smoker goes directly to the roof, and even the smoke from the fires comes out of there. It gives my house a magical look and coziness. Then when the sun hits it, it looks even more beautiful. Now I will show in more detail all the rooms and all the details that I have added to my interior. I would like you to rate my house on a 10-point scale. I see a lot of other things that could be added here. Platypus. But unfortunately, my time is limited and I set myself a certain time frame to build a house. I couldn't spare more time. But even so, I like the house. And now that I've shown you my house, I think it's time to get down to business. The first thing to do is to put all the resources and materials in the chest so that I don't have to carry them around with me all the time, because now I have a storage where I can leave them. I want to spend the next 10 days redoing the cane farm and other farms. I want to move them closer to home and remove the bamboo from my area. I will put it on the edges of the island. It will look nice and will not take up extra space, but I don't need so much bamboo anymore. I will make the carrot and wheat farms separately by dividing them into 2 different farms to the left and right of my house. Well, I plan to go to the cave and get diamonds there to make new armor out of them because I built such a cool house, and if I die, it will disappear with the world. And I don't want that, so I need armor to withstand blows and protect myself from death. I placed torches all over the island so that monsters no longer spawn near my house at night, and I'd also transplant all the bamboo. Now I will need it several times less, which means there is no need for such a giant bamboo farm. In the future, I will make an ornamental bamboo garden, but until then, it needs to be transplanted in the vicinity of the island. I harvested all the carrots and wheat. I will also move the farm right now. By the way, I'm going to mine gold and make a lot of golden carrots because my harvest was almost 200 carrots, which is a lot. I began to trample the beds, but it turned out that it would be faster to just dig them up with a shovel, which I did. In this place, I no longer need beds. After putting all the resources in chests, I went to the cave to get the resources I needed and found some iron, gold that was right above the lava. More continued to dig the cave, and finally I found the diamonds I wanted. I mined 29 diamonds, which is enough for armor and even tools. I crafted diamond armor, a helmet, boots, pants, and a breastplate, and also decided to make a shield for myself from the mined iron to block the attacks of monsters. Soon I will go to new islands, and I need to be ready for any danger. I decided to throw all the garbage into the fire, so as not to put everything in chests. I do not want to have a lot of garbage in my house after all. I built such a wonderful house, it would be stupid to put garbage in it, by the way. I also made a diamond pickaxe and a sword with the remaining diamonds. After that, I put all the ores to be smelted in my smelter and began to prepare for the journey. First of all, I melted down all the gesso, gold and copper. And after that, I decided to make a spyglass in order to be able to zoom in on the view and look into the distance. I made golden carrots, and I started building a portal to hell. Although I'm not going to set it on fire yet, and I also need a whole bunch of resources to decorate it. So for now, I've just built a frame to understand how much space the portal will take up in the future. Now I'm going to make 2 farms, wheat and carrots. The carrot farm will be bigger, since this is my main type of food, and I need it more than wheat. I decided to decorate the farms and add lighting to make everything look even more beautiful. By the end of the day, I was finally done with the farms, and it was time for bed. In the morning, I hit the road. This is what my island looks like at the end of this day. We're expanding, and it's awesome. Well, before I set off, I decided to get a good night's sleep and relax in my sauna and swim a little, so that I could go to conquer the islands with peace of mind. After that, I put on the diamond armor and immediately sailed to look for the islands. It didn't take long because there was another island very close. I swam to it and I was met by monsters. I immediately fought them off and went to look for something valuable. I found cows and started killing them. I need a lot of skin in order to make books and build an enchantment, and for this you need a lot of leather and paper. Unfortunately, the sugar cane did not grow at home, since I did not plant it, so I will also have to collect it along the way. Since there was a lot of leather and sugar cane, so I managed to collect it, and then I found a village of inhabitants where I also collected some resources, skin, food, and many other useful things, so I decided to stay here for the rest of the day and extract the skin. While I was getting the skin, I took all the valuables from the village of the villagers and noticed a lot of pumpkins. I think they will be useful to me for a future construction project. I spent the whole day extracting resources on the new island. I guess I killed all the horses and cows within a radius of 1,000 meters. Got a lot of leather and wanted to move on, and did not notice how it began to get dark. Therefore, I immediately put up a bed and decided to sleep right in the clearing near the village. Not very cozy, but comfortable and fast. After that, I continued my way. I decided to go to the sea and found some underwater ruins or something. I fell to them, but except for drowned. I did not find anything valuable and interesting there, therefore I did not stay there for a long time. I sailed further to look for a cherry biota, which is very necessary for all future buildings on my island. I need cherry wood, cherry foliage and pink flowers from the cherry blossom biome. I immediately began to mine wood and made scissors to get foliage and seedlings so that I would no longer look for biomes. I got a lot of cherry leaves and wood and even managed to fight with bees. When I collected enough resources I needed, I immediately returned home and put everything in a chest for now. Now I will plant flowers in flower pots and arrange pink flowers in the valley of the path. So that everything would look very nice and cozy, I decided to arrange them in order of increase with each row and led the path to the portal to hell. And also I calculated the territory and dug up the ground with a shovel, making paths. It looks much better this way. Then I decided to just level the landscape and make steps so that it would be more convenient to walk around the island from the portal to the house and farms. I also decided to plant my sugar cane in the valley of the island, so that then I would harvest and make paper. Plus, I will eat quite a lot of it. The whole day was spent on these classes, and by the end of the day, or rather late at night, I started to build a giant cherry blossom tree. I decided that near such a big house, I would make the same cherry blossoms, so I started building, and it took me a few days. Well, I know how a tree has to look, so all I need is time and patience to build it. So I spent the next few days just building a giant cherry blossom tree. I built the 3 main branches, and then I made the main trunk, which is supposed to hold all the foliage and is at the very top of the tree. So, in general, as you understood, the design is quite complex, and to be honest, I tensed more than when building a house because everything was intuitive there, and when building a tree, everything was spontaneous and inconvenient. I constantly had to put a bunch of blocks under myself in order to put just a couple of blocks of foliage, because you need to observe the proportions and constantly adjust every detail. And if you put even one block of wood or foliage in the wrong place, then it turns into ugliness rather than a beautiful tree. In general, it turned out quite beautiful, and I am very glad that I have finally finished with the construction. And now I can decorate it with beautiful bulbs that will add charm to this tree, and even at night it will shine. Let's do it as soon as possible and see how it will look in its final form. I hope I will not bore you with my buildings, because there is still a portal to hell and a bamboo garden to be built. So please let me know if you don't want to see so many buildings in the next videos. But if you like to watch me build, then also write in the comments and I'll shoot more time lapses for you during the 100-day survival. In the morning, I decided to go to get resources for the construction of a portal. The way was long, but I needed to find spruce trees as well as some more blocks I needed for construction, so I found a spruce tree and got 2 stacks. This will definitely be enough for me to build a portal. Also, while I was wandering around the world, I found a ruined hell portal. In the chest near the portal there was an apple, a couple of iron nuggets, flint and obsidian. I decided to take everything and get the gold blocks that were near the portal. When I returned home I made pottery, but I didn't like it and decided to make red concrete. Now I had to put it in water so that it would become solid and I could use it in construction. I made 2 stacks of concrete and started putting it in the water until all the concrete was ready for use. After that, I would go back home and prepare all the blocks I needed to build the portal, stone steps and floor blocks, as well as jack-o'-lanterns, and proceeded to build a portal. It was a pretty nice construction. But there was one thing, while I was building the portal, I realized that I made it too large, so I had to reduce it. But in the end, I still made a portal. I needed to add a couple more details, Chinese lights. I had to remove the roots of my tree a little because they were in the way. I also added hatches, and the final touch was bamboo. I planted bamboo near the portal and set it on fire. Now the portal is ready, and this is what it looks like in the finale. Now my island looks just incredibly cool, and each building fits the style. Pink leaves are falling. A giant bamboo house cutting gusts of wind with its walls, and a beautiful portal with a Chinese gate to the very bowels of hell. Just perfect. There are only a couple of small buildings left to build, and my island will be completely completed. After the attack of the night monsters, I went to bed and prepared for a new journey. I need to find a couple of chicken feathers to make a brush. I'm going to find a new sniffer mob and raise it on my island. I was looking for a chicken for a long time, as everything except the chicken came across evil. But in the end, I returned home and made a brush, and then immediately decided to build a platform on which creepers will spawn in the future. I need a creeper in order to get the piglin's head. Who doesn't know what to get the piglin's head? I need to hit the creeper with lightning so that he becomes a charged creeper and lure him to hell, and then make the creeper blow up the piglin. And if everything works out, the piglin's head will fall out. This is one of the most difficult tasks in Minecraft at this moment. I went in search of a sniffer and found some interesting items along the way. Nothing special. But I found a couple of sea ruins and even managed to fight with drowned people, as well as found an oceanic underwater city in which I got hit in the face by fish and decided that I should get out of there while I was still alive. Not that I was afraid, but even the shield doesn't block their attacks. So I decided not to take any chances and still focus my attention on finding the sniffer. I killed a few drowned people and decided to eat a strange soup that gave me the effect of an increased jump for 4 seconds, climbed into the ruins and decided to dig up a couple of blocks of suspicious gravel, but found nothing of value except a wooden hoe, so I need to move on. I heard that the sniffer is only in sand ruins, so such ruins do not suit me and I will have to look further eventually. I'll spend many more days in the ocean before I find what I came here for while I've been sailing the ocean. I've searched several shipwrecks and old ruins, gathered some resources and even found a bubble of experience that is very rare. I've always met drowned people on my way, so I've been fighting them in hopes of knocking out the trident, which would be very useful to me in the future. In general, I swam for a really long time and decided to find treasures for a change. There was nothing particularly valuable, but at least I visited an ant because the ocean is very tiring, but you need to move further along the ocean. After spending a few more days on the road, sailing on the ocean, I decided that I needed to stop at the village of the villagers and collect resources there. I found some berries, bookshelves, and some emeralds, nothing special, but again I took a little break from the ocean and decided to continue my journey. Further swimming on the ocean, I really killed a lot of drowned people, and finally in one of the fights I was lucky and knocked out 2 tridents at once. I was very happy. Because this is a great rarity and I was really very lucky. I continued my journey on the ocean and I was not going to stop until I finally got the sniffer's egg. After trying my trident a little, I made new boats and sailed on. In front of me there was still a long way to go across the ocean. But finally, by the end of the 50th day, I was still able to find the very same sniffer's egg and decided to return home as soon as possible. After all, I didn't need anything else, and besides, I was just sick of the ocean. The journey home also took a couple of days, but as it turned out, it swam on one big ocean and returned home much faster. As soon as I got home, I put the sniffer's egg, and in order not to wait for it to hatch, I decided to do my own thing, and I still had a whole bunch of them, given that I only have 100 days. I need to be sure to have time to do everything. I put all my things in the chest, took the trophies to the room for trophies, and float in my jacuzzis. After that, I crafted some golden carrots and set off again. This time not very far. I decided to get resources, so I swam to a neighboring island, started digging. But it turned out that I got to a cave lake at Angifjord, the famous lake. So I had to change the cave and continue digging there. I plan to make an enchantment table, so I need diamonds, lapis lazuli, as well as gold for golden carrots and other resources. When I got home, I gathered all the sugar cane to make the enchanting paper, came home and made an enchantment table, and started making bookshelves. For this, I took all my bamboo and made a whole bunch of bamboo boards. In my plans for the next few days to build an enchantment and a huge bamboo garden. These 2 ideas came to my mind when I was building a cherry blossom tree, and it was at that moment that I formed a picture of the future island. I'm sure you'll like it. I decided to take care of the interior of the landscape and level the area a little to build a bamboo garden on this place. It will have 4 cherry trees, bamboo and sugar cane near the water, as well as a path that will lead from my house to the ocean. And at the entrance there will be a huge gate in Chinese style, similar to my portal to hell, but a little more and more detailed. I was mining land right under my island, so maybe it became a little empty inside. But it doesn't matter. But in the future, I will mine land on neighboring islands, and I will be able to fill my entire island with earth if I need it. While I was building the bamboo garden, my sniffer grew a little, and when it grows to its maximum size, it will be able to get me rare flower seeds. They are very beautiful and very rare, so they will be able to complement my already unique island. It took a few days to build my bamboo garden, and at this point my sniffer managed to grow. And I was looking forward to him getting me my first seeds of rare flowers. I started building the Chinese gate, and this is what my island looks like at the moment. And while I was shooting the landscape for you, an itinerant merchant came to me. I bought a couple of rare blocks from him as well as ice. I don't know why, but I emeralds and I thought it might be useful to me in the future. Maybe not. Prideful. Pity, but in any case, itinerant merchants don't come often, so I decided to skimp on his shop and continue building my bamboo garden. Well, finally almost everything is ready. It remains to grow cherry trees and trim them. What a beautiful garden I managed to build. When I finished, the sniffer got one sprout of a new flower for me, and I immediately decided to plant it. I took a hoe and a bucket of water and planted the flower in a random place. In any case, I will then move it to another place. I just didn't want to waste time choosing a place right now, because it doesn't matter. This is what my island looks like at the end of day 60. Let's recap a little before starting day 61. And so, we built a giant bamboo mansion, a huge and beautiful cherry blossom tree, a portal to hell and a bamboo garden, the Chinese gate, 2 farms, found a sniffer, got a new plant, and put a bunch of resources and knocked out 2 tridents. As for me, we managed to do quite a lot in 60 days. We have less time left, only 39 days, during which we have to kill the dragon, knock out the head of the piglin and craft the netherite armor, and find the camel and bring it to our island, as well as find the alert. Well, now you can start completing tasks. Let's begin, friends. I took bone meal to grow my new flowers, which the sniffer got for me, and just look how beautiful they are. It's just incredible. This is really something new and beautiful in Minecraft. I would like to collect a whole bunch of these flowers, but it takes time, so if you want, I will shoot 200 days on this island and collect a whole bunch of flowers. Write comments if you want to see another 100 days on this island. I planted flowers in their places, and now my island has become even more beautiful. Next, I decided to use the leftover bone meal to grow grass around my island, so that it would look even more alive and beautiful. This would give it a more natural look. After I was completely done with the island fertilizer, I decided to enchant my tridents. And with one of them I was very lucky. I enchanted it to summon lightning, and now I will be able to electrify the creeper, and the second trident allows me to fly during a thunderstorm in the wake of the trident. These are pretty good enchantments, and they will be very useful to me. That's what I wanted. I also decided to enchant some books in my armor in order to get more profitable enchantments, but the books did not help me. Although I enchanted my helmet, not very cool, but the chest and pants received pretty cool enchantments, and I am very happy about this. I think that I will become much stronger, because I still have an ender dragon and a visor boss in my plan, so the armor will come in handy, and then I decided to knock out the piglin's head, which is quite difficult to get. I started running from chunk to chunk to chunk to speed up the appearance of creepers on my platform, and although they spawned there from time to time, I'd had a few problems. Initially there was no thunderstorm, which means that I just couldn't electrocute the creeper. And even when the storm started, I was constantly plagued by bad luck, and accidentally killed a couple of creepers. While I was waiting for the creepers, I decided to go to hell and bring Piglin closer to the portal, since it is safer to walk through hell with a piglin than with a walking nuclear bomb in the form of a creeper, so piglin is easier. In hell, I appeared near the hell fortress and decided to walk there. In case there would be something interesting there, I met several mobs there. In the form of blaze, pork zombies with a skeleton and ghast, I fought them off and realized that the fortress does not have what I need. So I can come back here a little later, and now I need to find a piglin and bring him to the portal. To get his head, however, piglins are not very smart creatures, and when I tried to bring them to the portal, they just fell off the hell rock one by one and died. So I had to go to look for piglins further. I found some piglins, but they were very far from the portal, and I had to build special steps for them. It took a long time for them to follow me up to the portal, and in the end, I was still able to bring one piglin to the portal, although even after all this, the difficulties with getting the head are still not over, they are just beginning. So let's not hesitate and continue. I went back to normal and decided to charge the creeper, but time after time I couldn't do it. I accidentally killed the creepers, they exploded. They fell into the water and a bunch of other problems. Charging the creeper turned out to be even more difficult than bringing the piglin. I waited a very long time for new creepers to appear, made a bunch of attempts, and in the end one of the creepers completely worked out, and when I took him to hell it just exploded and Piglin survived. I went back to normal, and kept trying to charge the creeper. A few more tries and finally I succeeded. Now I need to answer him to hell and kill the piglin, although the big piglin disappeared somewhere and only the little piglin remained, but he will also fit, so let's just do it. And finally, after hundreds of attempts and failures, I was able to get the long-awaited piglin head. It looks just fine. By the way, this head responds to the signal of the redstone and to the music block. I decided to take everything to the trophy room and put all my trophies there. Put the head in the chest. But after that, I changed my mind and decided to put it on the stand, or wall anyway. How it will look better for me on the stand, so let it be there. Then I removed the platform where the creepers spawned, because I don't need them anymore and I don't need danger. For the next few days, I just prepared to kill bosses. I mined netherite, enchanted things, and brewed potions. After that, I went to kill the boss's visor, and as soon as I killed him, I took the star and returned home. I decided to craft crystal ender and decided to take it to the trophy room. But I think it's also a pretty good trophy for my collection, and then, after that, I decided to go to the world of End because I still have a lot of things to do there. I immediately began to break the dragon crystals. With the help of my new bow, I dealt with all the crystals quite quickly and began to kill the dragon. I decided not to waste time and kill it as quickly as possible. After killing the dragon, I will take its egg and put it in my trophy room. And also, I plan to walk around the vicinity of the Ender World and look for shulkers. And for this, I need to get some Ender Pearls in order to get to the place I need. By the way, my 100 days of survival are almost over, and all I have to do is get Elytra and find a camel. As well as drag it to my island, I hope I will meet the 100 days and have time to fulfill all the tasks I set for this survival. And in the meantime, I fight off the most unpleasant monsters in the world. They're shulkers. How I hate them. I just hate them. But I need shulkers boxes. So I'm forced to fight them. I won't stay long in this fortress. I don't need many shulkers and elytra at all. After that, I go home after I killed the shulkers and took everything from the chests. By the way, they'd enchanted diamond armor. Not bad anyway. I went in search of the shulker ship to take the long-awaited elitas. And since the ship is not so difficult to find, especially since it was right next to the fortress, I climbed up there, killed a couple of shulkers, took things from the chests, and also took the elytra. Now I can leave the world of the region with peace of mind and return home. I have one last task left. I have to find a camel and bring it home. But I have to hurry. I have very little time left and I have to do it in time. When I got home, I put all my stuff in the trunks, put all the trophies, packed everything I needed and ran to look for the camel. I had to hurry because I don't plan to stay more than 100 days on this island in this video. And I still managed to do it. I brought the camel to the ocean, and now I just need to ferry it to my island. The task is completed and I lived for 100 days. Look how cool the camel looks and how cool it is. I will tie it near my bamboo garden and it will live with us. Now my island is not uninhabited, I live on it. Outside you're a sniffer and a camel, and also sometimes a wandering merchant comes in. In the end, I decided to spend all my experience on enchanting books. I was hoping to get something rare and cool, but all the enchantments didn't work out very well, so I'm a little disappointed. But this is the end of survival, so it doesn't matter. We lived for 100 whole days on a desert island, and here's what we managed to do during these days. Let's sum up the survival. First of all, I want to thank you for watching this video, and even more thanks to those who liked and subscribed to the channel. Also, do not forget to leave your comments, they are very important. And now the results of survival. We lived for 100 days, we managed to build the world's coolest giant bamboo mansion, a bamboo garden, a giant cherry blossom, a gate to hell, an enchantment, several farms, a Chinese gate. We brought home a sniffer and a camel, made netherite armor, defeated an ender dragon and a wither boss, collected a whole bunch of trophies, including a piglin's head. We went a giant way. But it's time to end the video. This is what our island looks like after 100 days of survival, and this is what it looked like on the first day. Thank you all very much for your views. I wish you a good day or evening and goodbye. See you in the new Minecraft Hardcore 100 Days Survival video.